Right, everyone. Last time we did a very simple recipe crafting system where we just compared the recipe, if it's there, craft it. And then this time we're going to do a Minecraft style where we have to drag an item into our crafting table or crafting slots, whatever it is. Hit the craft button, and as you can see down here, we have crafted the item that we want. All you would have to do then, of course, is add it to the player's inventory. And I just have an unlimited amount here for showing you guys. All right, so let's go ahead, dive in, and see how this system works and how it's different. So comparing to our original here, we just had the simple system like Castle Miner Z or Castle Miner Z, where you basically just selected an item from a list, hit the craft button, and that was it. If you had the items in your inventory, the item was crafted and added, and the items were removed. And that was it. Simple, right? All right. Now, with this crafting system, we have to take items from our inventory, drag it up into our slots, and if that grid pattern matches the recipe of an item, that item is crafted. So quite different. This one is obviously more involved. It is probably the more popular option when you think about crafting in games. Took a pause there because I'm just trying to think which one is actually more popular, dragging things in or just selecting items. It might actually be a toss-up, but anyways, in this more of a Minecraft style, all I have here sure, all I have here is my crafting table with a script on it, and that's just representing the whole scene here. I have a color rect, which is just acting as a background so I know where my crafting grid is. Of course, you can set this up or use whatever textures you want to display each of your grids, whatever, right? I have the crafting block, which has each of our slots here, which are just texture rects. They're all sharing the same script. I have a button to initiate my craft. And with items, items that's just acting like a hotbar where I just have an H box here. No big deal, right? This could be a grid. It doesn't really matter. Whatever you want to represent your inventory. And I've got my texture rect for each of my 3 items here. Now, I'm not doing an quote-unquote inventory where I'm tracking how many of these I have, just to speed this up a little bit. So, we just have unlimited here. You can think of it as, all right. So we'll jump in and we'll start with the items since they're the simplest things here. So the items, they just have an export variable of an item ID. And we have our function, our simple drag and drop implemented. Right? So in this case, we have our get drag data. We'll check if item ID is empty, return null. So we have to have an item ID in there. So for example, my stick sprite here is going to have, if this is going to follow my mouse, there we go. It's going to have stick or an item ID. And then my gold is going to have gold, silver has silver. Now for you, this could be silver ingot, silver ore, gold ore, stick. Might just be a wooden stick. You might have your wooden blocks, wooden planks, logs, etc. Right? Whatever it is that you're having, you can put the item ID in here for you. Right? So you have to have an item ID or we're not going to be allowed to drag. So we're not going to have any data. Right, now I'm going to go ahead and set a preview, right? So I'm just creating the preview, setting the preview texture, preview expand, minimum, right? I'm just setting up our preview so that when we drag an item, we can just click and we drag it. We have that preview, right? We know what we're dragging. Right? It's not essential. It's just one of those nice to haves to let the user know that they are dragging something, right? So if our item ID is not empty and we've gotten down here, then we just return a dictionary of our item ID and our texture. Right? That way we have the information we need for our crafting block. And that's all that's in here. Down here, this is again just default stuff that would go into a drag and drop system. We do not need that for our items. We can get rid of those. All we need is this one function and this one variable to make this system work. Right, now our crafting slots, again, same three functions. We don't need the get drag data unless you want to be able to drag or remove items from it, from the slots. But I'll delete that just because you technically don't really need that. You could just have a clear button as well. So here we have the item ID, not exported, because this is just going to store information. We have can drop data, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to check if our data is a dictionary to make sure that we have valid information. We're going to make sure that it has an item ID in that dictionary and make sure that there's a texture key in that dictionary. So we're basically going to say, if we have the information that we need, then yeah, you can drop it here. And then if we do drop it here, we have drop data, which comes in, and we just assign the item ID variable here to whatever's in the dictionary, right? Whatever's in that data, and we update the texture to what came across in that data. And then I just have a clear slot function here, which updates item ID to be empty and the texture to be null, which will happen whenever we craft our recipes. Right, so really up to this point, it's just been really basic drag and drop that you could see from that we implemented however long ago in our drag and drop basics video. So up to this point, this should hopefully be nothing new to you, unless you've never done drag and drop before. And now the actual crafting table. Okay, so here we have two, I'm using onreadys in this case. You know, if you've been around long enough, you know, generally I'm probably just gonna do an export, but it doesn't really matter for this example. But we're doing non-ready. We're getting our crafting block, which is of course just our grid container of all of our crafting slots, and I'm getting my craft button so that I can hook that up, so when I press the button we can actually craft something. Now here's the difference. We have two recipe sets here. We have recipe small and then just recipes. Now during this I'll be using recipes just because it's going to be a better format in the end. Recipe small will be faster if you have a small amount of recipes. That's why I said recipe small. So if you have, let's say, less than 100 recipes, the method that I'll show you for the recipe small is going to be faster. But if you were to have a larger game, let's say like Minecraft, so you have all those recipes that have built up over the years, and then maybe you allow mods, so you have modders adding a ton of recipes, and maybe you have a couple hundred, 500, 1,000 recipes that a player might have, then going with this recipe and lookup system here is going to be much faster. So it depends on how many recipes you anticipate is going to be within your game as to which system you want to go with. So if you have a small amount, we're going to use recipe small. If you have a large amount of recipes in your game, we're going to use recipe plus a lookup table. All right. So inside of the ready function, we're just going to build recipe lookup, and we'll get to that function in a moment. And I'm just hooking up the crafting button to on craft button pressed. When that button gets pressed, we're going to set our result equal to our the result of our get matching recipe. We're going to check if it's empty. If it's empty, we have no recipes. Otherwise, we're going to say, hey, we crafted this item. Whoops. We're going to print out, hey, we crafted this item, and clear the grid. All right. So if you were to, obviously if this was a game, you're also going to take whatever this item is, whatever result is, and add that item into your inventory or into the player's inventory. So you just add that in there yourself. Now, if you're using the small recipe system, right, this is going to be get matching recipe that we have up here. I just named it get matching recipe small just so I can have a distinction for showing you guys. So get matching recipe small. This is just going to be pattern is a get current pattern, and we're just going to go through one by one and check. So we're going to go through our recipes and just run a simple for loop and say, hey, is the first item, is this the recipe? No? Okay. Second item, is this the recipe? No. Third item, is this the recipe? No. Fourth item, is this the recipe? No. Fifth item, and so on until we get a match. Like I said, for a small recipe book, this is fine. But once you start getting larger, say over 100 plus, 200 plus, then the other system's going to be better. And we'll get to that other system in just a moment. But if you're doing with a small recipe, this is fine. This is going to be quicker. This is all you need. Now, both versions are going to be using get current pattern. And pattern is just going to be an array that we can just run through all of our slots in our crafting grid, right? So in this case, 9. We have 9 slots. We're going to go through. We're going to say, hey, what's your item ID? If your item ID is nothing, we're going to append it with a null. Else, add the item ID. So that's how we're going to get things like null, stick, null, null, stick, null, null, stick, null. So we have a pattern like that to match to. And just return that pattern. And clear crafting grid, simple. We're just going to go through our slots, make sure that has the clear slot function, and just call clear slot on it, which we went over on the crafting slots, which is just going to empty itself and set its item ID to being empty. All right, now if you're doing the larger recipe book and you anticipate to have 100 plus recipes throughout the game, then we're going to use this system. So get matching recipe, current pattern is get current pattern, and then we're going to set the key to pattern to key and pass in that pattern, and return the recipe lookup, get key, and our default will be an empty string if there's nothing. Right, now get current pattern, we've already seen that. Pattern to key will be our next function where we pass in the pattern. Parts is an array of strings, and we can go through. So for item in pattern, if item is null, we'll just append an underscore. Otherwise, we're going to append that item. And we'll return a join of all of our parts. All right. Fantastic. Great, right? Now, in the ready function, if you're doing the large lookup, the large version with the lookup table, then we do have this function that we call in the ready as well, the build recipe lookup. And in this case, we're just going to clear just in case we have anything in there. We shouldn't, but just in case we do. And we're just going to do a quick run through our recipes at the start of this game and set up our pattern and keys into our lookup. Right, so this is basically an inverse of what we have. So we can basically take this and then just look up based on the pattern rather than based on items. That's all this really is. So we're basically swapping the key and values around. Right. So if you're using get recipe small, less than 100 items, and you do not need to build lookup, which is right here. So if you're doing small, you don't need that. If you're doing large, then we need to build the lookup table and, well, go through the large setup that we have. All right, now, regardless of which one you want to use, you can use going in here. So if we do get matching recipe small, set that, right? We can come in, stick, craft, right? All these still work. Everything still crafts. Like I said, it's just more of a speed difference based on if you're going to have a lot of recipes or only a few. Which again is usually about, I would say 100 is probably the limit for the small one before you want to switch over. It could be less, but I would definitely use 100 as my limit. But there you go. There's how we can do a crafting system that's more like Minecraft. Where we take our items, drag them into our crafting slots, I will mention one thing real quick. Your item ID, just in case you didn't pick up on it, needs to match what you have in your recipe. So here it's stick with a lowercase, so the item ID of this is stick, all lowercase. Right? Same thing with silver and gold. So just make sure you don't have any my mind is blanking, but capitalization differences there. All right? But that's it. That's how we can now do a more of a Minecraft style crafting system. Right? All right, so that's it. Take care. Have yourselves a good one, and I'll see you guys next week.